What if I told you one of America's most beautiful cars was built by one man in his garage, had no doors, looked like a rocket-powered bathtub, and was literally melted by wildfire, only to rise again? Ladies and gentlemen, and my friend Timmy, welcome back to Cool Ideas, the only channel where obscure concept cars get more screen time than your mother-in-law's cooking videos. Today we're diving into the story of a car so sleek, so aerodynamic, and so impractical, it makes Timmy's inflatable fishing boat look like a sound financial decision. I present to you the 1948 Norman Timms Special, the rolling aluminium cigar that whispered, "Streamline me, baby," and then ghosted practicality like a bad date. Before we start, smash that subscribe button like Timmy smashes into the coffee table when he tries to vault over it during fishing show commercials. Every time. What we're diving into today is slicker than a greased eel at a barbecue cook-off. So who was Norman Timms? No, he wasn't a Bond villain, although he had the resume for it. Timms was a University of Southern California trained mechanical engineer who worked on World War II aircraft, designed parts for Indianapolis 500 winning cars, and even helped build the Tucker 48 torpedo. You know, just your average, I designed half of post-war America kind of guy. In his spare time, apparently bored by normal hobbies like bowling or yelling at pigeons, he decided to hand-build his own car. He and metal master Emil Deit took around 3 years and $10,000, that's $125,000 plus, to create the Timms Special. And what did they make? An 18 feet long, about 5.5 meters, 47 inches tall, around 1.2 meters, roadster with no doors, no hood, and a rear end that lifts up like a treasure chest. But oh, what a beauty. The body was made from over 100 aluminium panels, hand-formed over wooden bucks. No seams, no handles, just pure aerodynamic fantasy. Want to get in? You don't open a door, you step over the contoured side, hopefully without doing a split. The windshield is a split, raked setup that looks like it wants to take off, and that boat tail rear? It hinges up with a button, like you're revealing the engine to a crowd of awestruck 1940s civilians, or aliens if you're Bob. Now let's talk guts. It had a mid-mounted 1947 Buick Super 8 straight 8 engine, about 320 cubic inches, or 5.2 liters, with dual carburetors. Estimates suggest it could hit 120 miles per hour, roughly 193 kilometers per hour, assuming your nerves held up and you didn't sneeze behind that tiny windshield. Power went through a column-shift manual Buick gearbox straight to the rear, thanks to a compact drivetrain layout with no long drive shaft. The chassis? A tubular space frame made from 4-inch chrome molybdenum tubing, and because that wasn't enough, the tubes were capped and pressurized to increase stiffness. Yes, this thing had its own internal pressure system, like a submarine. Front suspension came from a 1947 Ford solid beam axle, while the rear was a custom Dadion-style swing axle setup, part Packard, part Ford. And for the nerds out there, transverse leaf springs all around. Weight? Somewhere between 2,500 pounds, 1,000 to 1,130 kilograms. That's surprisingly light for a car with the length of a limousine and the clearance of a speed bump. And with those skirted fenders, teardrop taillights from a 1939 Ford, and a red tuck-and-roll leather interior? Bob's survivalist bunker might have a generator powered by hamster wheels, but it sure never made the cover of Motor Trend. This shiny torpedo did, back in October 1949, probably leaving readers wondering if it ran on gas or moonlight. Sadly, time wasn't kind to the Timms Special. After spending years in obscurity under the blazing sun of a Southern California desert, the car was rediscovered and put up for auction in 2002. It sold for just $17,300 to collector Gary Cerveni, who instantly recognized it wasn't just some melted Art Deco canoe. Before Cerveni, the car had passed through the hands of a few private owners who clearly didn't realize they were babysitting a rolling sculpture. But collector Gary Cerveni saw its potential. He had it restored to original spec, even down to the burgundy paint, and it won Best Open Car at Amelia Island in 2010. Then tragedy struck. In 2018, the Woolsey fire in Malibu melted the aluminium body into a sad puddle. Only the chrome molybdenum frame, engine block and belly pan survived. But like a phoenix, or like Timmy after one too many fishing beers, it rose again. Over 4 years, Douglas & Company rebuilt it using original drawings. In 2024, the Tim Special returned to Amelia Island like it never left. And now, it's more famous than ever. No auction record exists because the original prototype was never sold again. It's too special. But to us, it's priceless. So, let's raise a toast or a wrench to Norman Timms, who proved you don't need a factory to make a masterpiece. Just vision, skill, and probably a very patient wife. The car had no doors, but it opened a new era of streamlined custom engineering. Now, before we go, big thanks to our sponsors. That's right, you two beautiful maniacs. And if you, dear viewer, want to keep us digging through history's chrome-plated madness, consider becoming a channel sponsor. Until next time, keep dreaming weird, drive like you mean it, and if your car has no doors, just try not to fall out at stop signs.